We are ready for semifinal action, and thank you very much, Craig Hummer. You saw that it's 82 degrees. The number one seed, Steffes and Loiola, lost in the semifinals. They have been working their way back through the elimination bracket. And one of the surprise teams of the weekend, the number 14 seed, Brian Gatzke and Eduardo Bacil, better known to volleyball fans as Anginio or Tim. Jack. There is Brian Gatzke from Oyama, British Columbia. He has already, by virtue of this position in the tournament, recorded his career high finish, has taken many fifths throughout the course of his 7 years on tour, but will do no worse than third. The score right now is 8-4. Steffes and Loiola lead. You're looking at Brian Gatzke, powerful blocker, and there is Kent Steffes. Physically, very gifted. Jose Loiola, his partner, missing the block out of bounds, and Jose has been suffering with a virus all weekend long. Maybe that's part of their subpar play, but give credit to a lot of other teams that have played exceptionally well. There is Eduardo Bacil, Anginio, Jack, now 26 years, I was waiting for that, now 26 years of age, one career win, indoor variety with Jose Loiola. You know, they came here together in 1993 and really made a name for themselves, and then split up eventually in 1995. Steffes with the tap down.
Anginio playing exceptionally well this weekend. He's got great shots. Brian Gatzke, not one of the better setters on the tour. Anginio putting the ball on the line, using the whole court, really playing magnificent.
There is Jose Loiola, now 27 years of age, originally from Copacabana Beach in Rio de Janeiro. 23 career wins, $297,000 last year. He's now the 9th millionaire, went over the $1 million mark. It says here, as I'm looking at the information, it says that he has won $11 million. Now
we're talking.
I think that's a typo. But as we know, Jose Loiola and Kent Steffes have had a fabulous season, but struggling a little bit this weekend, as there has been a lot of upsets and a lot of surprises throughout the course of this weekend here on Bradford Beach at the $125,000 Miller Lite AVP Milwaukee Open. The Miller Lite AVP started sponsoring events on the Pro Beach Tour in the United States all the way back in 1982, and seen the sport grow and grow and grow. Semi-final action, number 14 seed Brian Gatzke and Anginio, or Eduardo Bacil, taking on the number 1 seeded team of Kent Steffes and Jose Loiola. Steffes and Loiola had won 3 in a row. Of the tournaments they competed in, they skipped Cape Cod, and they had won 20 matches in a row. That win streak was broken in the semifinals by Bill Bullion and Troy Tanner, who are in our finals.
Little tight set. Nice ripping line shot by Kent Steffes.
That's a tough shot to read. Very tough, Tim. How do you stop that?
You can't stop it. He started off on the angle. He turned his full body, cranked it down the line. Give him that. It's a great shot.
Isn't Gatzke big enough at about 6'5" that he should be able to get over and clamp on that ball?
Look, Steffes right now is really jumping. It rained a little bit earlier this morning, so it's a jumper's beach. Great up by Steffes right there.
Gatzke with a nice side out.
And it's packed down a little bit so that they're really jumping and hitting. Gatzke is a big blocker at 6'5". Steffes, if he reaches his arm out, can go over him. Shot like that, you just give it away.
Brian Gatzke, one of the first international players. Anginio and Loiola got most of the publicity, but Brian Gatzke, this is his 7th season out on tour. He made the commitment to come to the Miller Lite AVP Tour several years ago after a very successful career playing indoors in Canada. That ball cuffed over the top by Jose Loiola.
We got one American out there, a Canadian, and 2 Brazilians.
Shows you a little about what's happening with the sport.
The British Open out there. It's the Miller Lite AVP Tour in the United States. Everybody's coming to join us.
That ball served just out of bounds by Jose Loiola. We should point out that Jose was not 100% last week, a little bit under the weather. Suffering from a cold and a virus, and that has continued this week. That hampers his training, that hampers his ability to recuperate from one day to the next, and I don't think that he physically is firing on all cylinders.
It's not as hot as it was. I mean, the cloud came over. That's really going to save him. The humidity came up a little bit, but it says 82, but it feels like 75. It could be 90, 100 here.
He specifically, and they meaning Steffes and Loiola, because they're coming from farther in the contenders bracket, the cool weather will really help them.
No doubt about that. Watch this cross-court inside cut shot by Jose, getting up easy, put away, sees it right coming down at your couch.
Boy, Anginho can set the ball. He has just fabulous hands. Played on the Brazilian junior national team and had some aspirations to maybe play for the Brazilian Olympic team, one of the best in the world and gold medalists in 1992. Was the third setter and an alternate there and didn't quite make that team, and then decided to throw his lot out on the beach and was Brazilian champion twice with Jose Loiola.
The coaches don't think he worked hard enough, because he looks like he's not working, but he's out there working as hard as he can. He just looks very casual when he's working out. He is a very hard worker. He's got great hands. He can dish the ball from all over the court. He's had great shots too.
He's had a difficult year. I mean, when he came on tour in '93 with Jose Loiola, they went to their first final about halfway through the season in Fort Worth and were a factor each and every week. And then '94 was a good season for them. They eventually split in '95, but since then Jose Loiola has been winning and winning and winning with Adam Johnson or Steffes. Nice chase by Jose Loiola. We'll finish that in a moment. And Anginho, one of the shots you were talking about, with the tap down. Anginho, however, has had some knee problems this year. He did not play in 3 tournaments. And now he's a little bit healthier and playing better volleyball.
Nice up by Loiola, and then a little tap shot, the Anginho jack cut shot. Nobody can touch it. Down on the ground.
I know you're very close with Anginho. I want to hear from you how hard this last year and a half has been on him since he and Jose split up.
It's easier to get a digger than it is to get a good blocker. You know, Loiola can go and get Kander. He can get Adam Johnson or anybody. But Anginho needs a specific type player, a Randy Stoklos, Mike Whitmarsh. There's not many of them out there. That's probably one of the things that's been hindering his performance.
And he was with Randy Stoklos for a while, but I think when he was with Stokey, he wasn't 100% physically. There's a point-scoring opportunity and conversion by Jose Loiola, and Steffes and Loiola now lead 9-4. And speaking of Randy Stoklos, we should wish him a speedy recovery. He got a virus during the week, very late in the week. Brian Lewis was already back here in Milwaukee. Randy Stoklos did not make the trip, so he and Brian Lewis had to sit out the weekend. We wish them all the best next week at the Miller Lite Grand Prix at Hermosa after a second last week. That was a team that probably came here with pretty high expectations. At least Brian did until Randy didn't come.
I told Randy never to go swimming at State Beach. What does he do? He goes swimming on Wednesday, he gets sick on Thursday, he can't be here. Randy, don't go swimming anymore at State Beach.
Now, the water in Santa Monica Bay is much cleaner. I see dolphins out there all the time. If it's good enough for the Dolphins, it's good enough for Stokey.
Nobody. Go! Nice pancake by Gatzke. Can he get it back?
Boy, that is a marvelous serve by Anginho to start this play, and you know you got to make Steffes and Loiola move in their serve reception.
Watch it drop off the table right there. Very difficult serve to perform. Up, Steffes diving, puts that ball up. That's a great serve. Way to make them move their feet to pass the ball.
Anginho and Brian Gatzke made it all the way to the finals of the winners bracket before they eventually were defeated by Troy Tanner and Bill Bullion. They defeated Seligson and Friedrichsen in the first round, and then their big win and really sort of set the table for their tournament was over the #3 seeds of Dane Blanton and Canyon Seaman. They beat Eric Wirtz and Andrew Smith, who had an exceptional tournament, and also having an exceptional tournament again, Dax Holdren and Todd Rogers. They finished 4th this week. They eventually beat them in the semifinals, and that's how the #14 seed of Gatzke and Anginho got to this point.
They had a real tough game against Canyon and Dane. They beat them 12-10 in the nail biter.
A minute and 40 seconds, 6/10 left on our Swatch official game clock here on the Miller Lite AVP Tour. Kent Steffes, Jose Loiola up by 5, 9-4. How in the world do Brian Gatzke and Anginho get back into this? And it looks like it could be 10-4. Jose Loiola touched the ball on the block, tries to convert that play, and Jose saying that was my fault. Do Anginho and Brian Gatzke, I guess the question with the way the game is played now, do they serve well enough to get back in?
What also hampers them is that it rained early. The ball gets a little bit heavy. It's picking up the humidity, so you can't get that crisp.
David changed my life.
Match. Anginho doesn't have any, and neither does Gatzke.
Check this.
So they're back in this match. Great dig right there.
Long run for Gatzke. Got to set this ball well.
Go, Jack, go. Nobody.
Brian Gatzke maybe feeling a little bit fatigued because, of course, when you play with Anginio, that means you block every ball all weekend long. And after the long chase, he did not get back to the net to block.
Yeah. A tired Loiola. But look at this jump. Up, kaboom, great sound effect, up over the banners. If he's sick, I'd like to hit that way too when I'm sick.
I'd like to be that sick and be that tired just once.
Yeah, I think he's fine.
It looks like a little bit that Steffes and Loiola, in spite of the viral infection to Jose Loiola, have gotten a little bit of a second wind. It looks like, to me, like Brian Gatzke is the tired player out here.
So you get in those zones right now. They're in a great zone. They played great defense in the last match. They're cruising along right now. The sun's kind of got disappeared behind the clouds. They're having a good time and bombing balls.
High ball.
Steffes sneaks that one through.
Oh.
We'll have a conversation about this. Jeff Jordan on top, going to talk to umpire John Martin down below. What'd you see here,
John Martin has made a very late call.
Did he net or not?
See it again on replay. They did not see it. There you go. That's a good call by Jeff Jordan. Here it is. Gatzke up, cross court. I don't see it on the top. I think Steffes netted after he hit the ball.
Well, in any case, that makes it 9-5. And don't forget, this year you only have to get within one to force overtime. So at this stage, an opportunity for Gatzke and Anginio. Nice knuckle pokey by Jose Loiola for the kill. Good cover after the initial block by Brian Gatzke.
That's what teammates are for. You got to be covering your partner, bring the ball back up, putting the ball away. Working together. Isn't that the Marines theme too?
Semper Fi.
Working together.
Anginio and Brian Gatzke. I mentioned that Gatzke looked a little bit fatigued, and it's been a long weekend for him, blocking a lot of balls. They take a 20-second timeout. Look at the scoreboard. The #1 seeds headed yet for another final. Big crowds all weekend long, and when the weather cooperates, as it has for the most part today, everybody having a very, very good time. A new event on tour this year, the Miller Lite AVP Tour Championships at the Wide World of Sports Complex. I haven't been there yet, but it is supposed to be really something in Orlando, Florida. That's August 29th through the 31st. For tickets, call area code 407-839-3900. That is the Wide World of Sports Complex down in Orlando. Brian Gatzke and Anginio may or may not be there. It's an invitational tournament for the 24 top teams. Brian Gatzke, we haven't seen a lot of him in his 7 seasons. What about him as a player?
He's a good, solid player. He's got a good block. He's got to concentrate a little bit more. He's got good shots, as you can see right here. Nice loopy over the corner. If he had a little bit better arm swing from in the transitional points, he'd get more points. He had a good finish in Hermosa Beach, his 7th. And he gets up for the big tournaments. Nice shot deep in the corner. That's a very tough shot to make.
Physically just trying to take the next step up if he can, but he's 32 years of age. It seems that time may be running out for Brian Gatzke to really get up into the top group, but if he stays with Anginio, they'll be competitive. Jose Loiola clanking hard cross court. We're down to 38.1 seconds left, and really a commanding 9-5 lead. And when you look at the score, and of course games played to 15 out here on the Miller Lite AVP Tour, you have to think that Gatzke and Anginio were able to side out pretty well. This game's going to go on time at a very low score.
They started out down 4-1. That was the big mistake right there. They came out, they weren't ready to play, and they've been paying for it ever since.
Why do teams do that? Come out not ready to play, big opportunity against the #1 seed, nothing to lose.
Remember, this is his best finish ever. First time on TV, maybe a little bit of nerves, apprehension. They came out, they got aced once, they got blocked. You know, it just didn't happen. By that time, you know, you get the confidence back to Loiola and Steffes, and when they get the confidence, watch out.
This is maybe a situation where Steffes and Loiola, their experience and just their comfort level in playing in big matches really had a lot to do with it. But I'm very glad to see Anginio back out here playing among the best players on tour, because he had a super couple of years. He and Loiola just felt he needed a better hitter, a stronger partner. He went with Adam Johnson. Isn't that the reason?
Yes, I guess so. You know, Anginio is a great player. Wish him all the best. His girlfriend Nikki's pregnant right now, coming with their first child. This will be a good thing for the baby upcoming.
Well, if they do finish third, which it looks like they will, with 20.7 seconds left and trailing by 4, it'll certainly be his biggest paycheck of the year. And his best finish so far this year is a 9th. He and Brian Gatzke finished 13th last week. And if you look at the list, it's peppered with 17ths, 13ths, a number of different partners. He's played with Ricky Ludes, Ian Clark, Brian Gatzke now, and Daniel Cardenas. So a very up and down year. Yeah. Steffes and Loiola just playing out the string right now. The #1 seeds are going to be headed for yet another final. 8.5 seconds left. Steffes and Loiola have doubled up now on Gatzke and Anginio, 10-5. You see the name on the back, and Kent Steffes and Jose Loiola are headed once again for yet another final. They have missed only 2 all year.
That is a Miller Lite beer belly right there. You know we're in Milwaukee right there. Oh, boy.
And he's been to Cabo San Lucas, a very beautiful spot, of course, at the tip of Baja. 2.4 seconds left. So Anginio and Brian Gatzke will finish a very respectable third, finishing 11 spots above their seed. That's a great finish.
Now we're talking. Break out the beer nuts, because this party is over.
It's really been Steffes and Loiola in control throughout, as you mentioned, Tim. Up top, on top 4-0, then 4-1. The lead extended to 8-4, and really Anginio and Gatzke have not been able to really threaten the #1 seeds of Steffes and Loiola. Time is out. The game is over, and that goes down as a block. That block is important, and later on in today's competition, we'll tell you exactly why. He wants to record that extra stuff block. So the #1 seeds of Kent Steffes and Jose Loiola have worked their way back through the contenders bracket and are in the finals once again. They win our semi 11-5. We'll hear from him in a moment.